Welcome to Phase 5 of the InnovEd 2020 online challenge. I will be discussing components of Phase 5, such as national assessment, the CREAThon, and pitch presentation. So this will be our outline for today. As you can see, we will be discussing Phase 5 in general, and then the national assessment by subject matter experts, the CREAThon, and more specifically, the pitch presentation of the CREAThon. Now, Phase 5. We've already been through the design thinking process, which has led you to making your prototype in phases 1 to 4. Now, we will be addressing the other components of Phase 5, such as the national assessment by subject matter experts, where the 5 best projects per theme will be selected. Then, these 5 best projects per theme will move on to the CREAThon. The CREAThon will include a 1-week training by subject matter experts, and then you will have the chance to refine your prototype during that week. And afterwards, there will be the pitch presentation. Let us focus now on the national assessment by subject matter experts. This year, the national assessment will be held virtually instead of at the NPCC. Of course, we will be providing you details by email on the logistics of that virtual presentation. The subject matter experts who will be assessing your project are highly knowledgeable and practitioners in the theme that you will be presenting. For instance, if you will be presenting a project in the theme of languages and publishing, the subject matter experts who will be assessing you will be experts in that particular field. Now, you will have 8 minutes in your team to present your project. This will be followed by questions from the subject matter experts, and you will have around 7 minutes for these questions. The questions will allow you to further elaborate on your project, but also will allow the subject matter experts to not only mark you, but also have a chance to see your project and see how it can be improved further. This will be advantageous if ever your project is moving on to the next round, to the CREAThon, and you will be allocated an expert to help you improve on that project. So how will the subject matter experts assess your project? We will be providing you with the national assessment criteria. These criteria include originality of idea, aesthetic, practicability, marketability, impact, scalability, clarity and simplicity, teamwork, design thinking process, project management. Now, these criteria are all on the assessment sheet as I have presented it on the slide. They have different markings for each of them, and you are advised to have a look at the different markings and make sure that those elements are presented well during your virtual presentation. After the assessment, the subject matter experts will take time to select and decide on the 5 best projects per each theme, which will be moving on to the next round, the CREAThon. So in total, we will have 30 projects moving to the CREAThon round. So the next component of Phase 5 will be the CREAThon. As you can see, there are different elements under the CREAThon, such as the training by subject matter experts, the opportunity to refine your prototype, and the pitch presentation. But let's talk more about the CREAThon. The CREAThon focuses on the aspect of InnovEd, which is that of mind to market. Now, the themes which have been selected during the national assessment will be asked to further improve on their prototype for a week with the coaching of one subject matter expert. The CREAThon will culminate with a final pitch presentation. The presentation will be virtual again this year, and you will have to present to a panel of jurors. These jurors will be leading professionals in their respective theme. Now, we went through the whole process of making a prototype, improving of your prototype. So the CREAThon is really a way to further improve on the marketability of your prototype. That is, you have to show why your prototype is something that can be commercialized or something that clients will be interested in buying. Which leads us to the next element of phase 5, the pitch presentation. Now I will be giving you a bit more detail on the pitch presentation and how to go about it in this part of the presentation. So you have been through this long process of making a prototype, improving on it, discussing if people will be willing to buy a product out of that prototype. Now, before it is too late, we will have to be sure whether we can sell that prototype. How to bring your product to the market after a journey through prototypes is through a pitch. Now, a pitch will be the next step towards marketing your now product on the market. What is a pitch? In general, in the business world, pitching means that your prospective client, so someone to whom you want to sell your product, will ask a number of suppliers to pitch, that is, people like you. So you will be pitching your product, your potential product, to a client. And in order to do so, you need to put together a proposal so that that prospective client can choose whether it likes your project or whether it likes someone else's project. But why do we need to pitch? We pitch to sell the product to a client. We pitch to sell the product to potential investors. Maybe the product needs to be made in large quantities and you need an investor to allow you to market your project on a larger scale. Or to defend your project to an international organization, to international donors such as the UNDP, the EU, and so on. This is why you need to pitch. But let us talk about pitching in terms of pitching for InnovEd. When you're pitching your prototype to a panel of jurors, you will have to keep 3 points in mind. First of all, you have to identify the keywords of your pitch. As far as possible, avoid audiovisuals and have your answers to potential questions that you may be asked prepared in advance. Here is an example of keywords in a pitch. The project is eco-jewelry and the theme of visual arts and crafts. The keywords in that pitch presentation will be related to your product. Here, the jewelry. So, it will be the modern design of the jewelry, the different colors that are available for the jewelry, that the jewelry is also environment friendly, that you have received great customer feedback so far on the jewelry, and of course, the price. Now, how would you deliver a pitch? There are do's and don'ts. The first positive aspect on how to deliver a pitch will be that you should rehearse the presentation prior to the final pitch presentation and ensure that you remain within the time allocated to you. You should encourage regular eye contact with your panel of jurors. Of course, in a business setting, it will be with your investor and client, but here for InnovEd, it will be to a panel of jurors. You should mention your keywords during your presentation, and you should ensure that towards the end of your pitch presentation, you repeat those keywords. For example, you can say, so to reiterate, the 5 key reasons for buying this product are. And you should also anticipate questions and anticipate answers to those questions. The elements or pitch presentation that you should avoid are really the use of audiovisuals, because it will distract the attention of the jurors to your product and to you. You should stick to the time allocated and avoid going beyond that time allocation. You should also not fight between your team members during the pitch presentation. Now, the InnovEd pitch presentation can also be known as an elevator pitch. What does that mean? It means that it is a pitch which is done through a very short amount of time. That is, an amount of time which a lift, an elevator, will take to bring you from one floor to the next. In fact, for your pitch presentation, you will have 5 minutes for the whole presentation and 3 minutes from jurors for questions. The pitch presentation will be assessed as per the criteria that are put on the slide. The panel of jurors will look at the problem that you have identified and will see whether the product or service you're proposing as a solution is actually a solution to that problem. The jurors will also look at your product or service demo and will determine how innovative and how unique that product or service is on the market. Furthermore, customer feedback that you have so far received during your testing phase will also be taken into consideration. The commercialization of that product or service, that is, the cost implications related to commercialization, will also be important. Finally, the team promoting the product or service and how the team went about to promote and market that product or service will be looked at. And lastly, your pitch presentation in general will be considered. You can view examples of an InnovEd pitch on the NPCC website. I have included the link in my presentation. Or you can just go directly to the NPCC website to view last year's winning pitch presentations. So we have reached the end of our presentation on Phase 5 of the InnovEd 2020 online challenge. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email us or call us.